Hey everyone, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. And we just won that race. The Red Rock Valley money-making race. It occurs to me that this car is turbocharged. Very likely. Maybe we should enter it in the Turbo Championship, the Toon Turbo Car No. 1 Cup. Considering how nice a car to drive it was. Oh, non-aspirated cars can't participate in this race, so it's not one of those. Well, fine. I'll go to the Toon NA Car No. 1 Cup then. See how you like it. And I'll go to the Autumn Ring. Now, before we competed in this using a Renault Espace F1, and we got an Integra. But we got an Integra in more than one different race. So, I think for some reason, maybe for this one, for this particular championship, the prize car that you get is randomized. It seems like for most of them in this game, most of the races in this game, you get the same car every time. But I think maybe for this cup, it's more like the original Gran Turismo, in which every time you won a specific championship, you would get one of two different random prize cars. And so you could win the one championship like 5 times in a row, and get the same car 5 times just by dumb luck. Is it just my illusion, or am I actually beating these guys more using this far less powerful car than when I was racing them in the Renault Espace F1? Just goes to show you how far good drivability will take you in terms of getting a good lap together. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of smoky tire burnout right there, but and went a little off the rails there, but that's to be expected. I'm obviously pushing the car harder than I need to for this event. Well, that was... Speaking of pushing the car harder than I needed to, I pushed it straight into a concrete wall. You never need to push it that hard, folks. I mean, you can push it real good. Push it good. But you never need to push it against an unmoving wall, unyielding force of game physics nature. And you know what, folks? I'm going to advise you, even outside of the game world, do not drive your car straight into a wall. It may sound like fun on paper. It may sound like a way to get out of writing that book report. It's not a good idea. There are repercussions that are way more severe than you being able to get out of having to write that thing. Boy, this car is so fine, it blows my mind. Hey, concept car. Hey, concept car. Hey, concept car, you're so fine. You're so fine, you'll blow my mind. Hey, concept car. There. Maybe the applause is better when I was not holding the controller there, the gamepad. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know how these things work. That's right, new car. Gonna go ahead and continue. I'll race Grindelwald. I'll race all three of these again using this car because it's a fun car. And that way I will hopefully have a better idea of what all cars are available as prizes from this. Prizes? Money? I don't need to make any changes to my beautiful, beautiful car. It'll be just fine the way it is. I love you just the way you are. Yeah, so let's go. So, there are two instances in this game, and I guess they're in both of the Ultimate Hard-Tuned Turbo and Ultimate Hard-Tuned NA Championship events, where you occasionally find a race-modified computer car going against you and all the other computer cars not running race-modified cars. This one, it's that crazy Peugeot. And of course, in the Turbo Championship, it's the HKS Drag GTR. Is it the Drag GTR? It's the Drag 180SX, I guess. But either way, it's one of those drag racing cars that kind of don't really turn so much. Boy, that was a large loss of speed in a short amount of time. I am amazed at this car's virtual prowess. And it is only virtual prowess, folks. A car to this particular specification is only a dream. Was never made reality. This was a it was a concept car. It was called the Copperhead. They did not, while they were making this concept car, then go like, what would we do if we were going to make an LM edition of this car? They never did that. That's all in the minds of the creators of this game. I mean, hey, I for one applaud them for doing it, but, but yeah, this thing never existed, which may be a reason that it's such a great car. It's a platonic ideal. It is a car that could never actually be. So it's, you know, if you were going to make up a car, you wouldn't make up a car that had lots of faults, would you? No, you'd make up a car that was fast and looked awesome and, probably also made money somehow. Generated money rather than costing you money to insure it and keep it filled with gas. Somehow generated cash. Actually, speaking of what people consider the ideal of a car now, I keep hearing people report these days that the car enthusiast is a the car enthusiast is a vanishing breed. People who really care about their cars and keep them up and fancy, and like the young kids these days, they don't even bother to rush out and get a driver's license when they turn 16, and all sorts of huffuff and kerfuffle like that. If it's true, guys, you need to get on the ball. Cars are really cool. Driving them is something that you should want to do, and they should be all exhilarating and stuff. But yeah, apparently more and more, like, things that people think are cool about cars are less and less about, like, how well the car performs or things like that. They're things like, what's the coolest stereo? I mean, stuff like that's been going on for a while. Things like, what's the coolest stereo? Does it have room for all my stuff? You know, the funky, groovy styling. And a lot of that stuff isn't new. A lot of that stuff's been the case for a while. Like, that, you know, a lot of cars are sold more on their style than their performance or even practicality. I mean, the original Ford Mustangs were not fast cars. The original Chevy Corvette was not a fast car. It did not have a fast engine in it. It had a 6-cylinder in the days when anything that was fast was going to have an 8-cylinder in it. It was just a stylish 2-door. Fanciful looking. The original Ford Thunderbird, very much the same. Basically, the original Ford Mustang was the idea of taking a Ford Falcon and making it appealing to look at. Taking the existing sort of, you know, sensible, smallish car in the lineup and making it something that people would think was cool. So it's kind of like Scion now. Or at least Scion was when this game was coming out. And I guess that's still sort of their niche. But basically taking little city cars, tiny sort of city-style cars that were popular in Japan because they made a lot of sense in cities where you needed a small car if you were going to be able to get around in a car at all. Big cars wouldn't fit in places. It would be a pain in the toot to drive. Taking those little small city cars and making them cool. They've done a good job with that for the most part. I don't think they've had a lot of takers for the Nissan IQ, which is like a 2+1. There are certain limits, I guess, in size that, particularly in North America, people are just not as willing to go to. Because the cities and towns are designed around you being able to have large cars and stuff. I mean, you think back on it, there are no cities in the United States that were ever designed around the idea that the town or the community or any part of the city ever had to fit around a city wall. There were, you know, basically you have cities in Europe where, like, oh, it's paved now, but these are the same ancient paths that farmers traveled, you know, millennia ago. I'm like, no, you don't really have that so much in the U.S. your biggest cities, in the sense that we know them now, would not have been more than, you know, I'll end up saying something incorrect here, but you didn't exactly have the, like, sort of same idea of major metropolitan areas. You didn't have the idea of walled cities with castle keeps or anything like that. Not that all of Europe is that way. I realize it's not. But, I mean, many of the buildings out there are, I mean, they're just built closer together. It's just space was at more of a premium because, you know, you didn't have other ways to get around quickly. And I realize America is older than the car, but one of the reasons the car especially revolutionized the way things are done in America is because it was spread out just enough that the car made it a perfect sort of conveyance to just sort of be able to get around. On your own. Yeah, see, there we go again with this mess. MX-5 Miata B-Spec. Do I already have one of those? I know I have an A-Spec one. So Miata A-Spec, okay. I guess I don't. Now, I still have that other spoon and I have multiple spoon Integra type R's. $9,500. $9,500. Let's go ahead and sell one of these, because there's no reason to have that many of them. Let's go ahead and sell two of these. Well, one of this. And then, yeah, I want to sell. It's been sold. It gone. Now let's read a little bit about the Mazda Speed Miata MX-5 B-Spec. It's Roadster B-Spec Sparse, Mazda Speed. Japanese regulation. A-Spec parts are designed for use on ordinary roads. B-Spec parts include items that require submission of an application for modification and result in an inspection certificate that reads modified. That's actually useful information. Well, I don't know if you'll call it use. I consider it interesting, at least useful. There is a new series, well, relatively new in the United States, called a B-Spec Championship, and it is mostly the small Japanese-style hatchbacks, like the Mazda 2/Demio, like the Honda Fit, with sort of light racing modifications to them. And I guess B-Spec, that's why they're calling them that. Alright. But yes, this is beyond comparison with the A-Spec model. Stage 3 with the most of modifications, so as past the standard model, it seems like a different car altogether. These changes and extensive range of advanced modifications combined for a maximum output of 189 horsepower. Instantly perceivable awesomeness. Combination of power and handling provides performance that easily outdoes any new roadster. Well, apparently this isn't the fanciest state of tune for these then, huh? Well, okay, good to know. Let's go ahead and sell this Speed 12. Because why have an extra one? Let's go ahead and get inside the SLK 230 compressor. And go race modify it so that it can go win that particular little championship too, huh? Let's go to North City and go to the Mercedes shop. I'm just going to check these little items off our little list here, folks. Oh, right. Racing modification is not performed yet. Racing paint schemes are required for this race. So it really is just a paint scheme. It's not even they're adding a roll cage or doing any more lightning to the car. It really is just, this is our super cool paint job. You will pay several times more for this than you did for the car. Gonna go with red and silver. Don't know if this was so at the time, but certainly Mercedes had a long-standing partnership with the McLaren Formula One team. And during that time, they were sponsored by West Tobacco, and the cars were sort of silver, gray, black, with red bits of trim in them. So we've got that going for us. That's what's happening here and now. Promise. Seattle short course. Okay. This will be fun, guys. It'll be educational and entertaining, and something else useful. I don't know what though. Right, I forgot. Actually, I'm not sure. Have I even done this particular race in reverse yet? This may be my first time seeing the Seattle short course in reverse. Certainly the first time I remember having done so. Which is not saying much, it's just saying that my memory is crap. Which I would freely admit. Anyways, let's bust some heads until we get back up at the front here. Come on, guys, I was trying to drift it out stunt driver style. Yeah, it's pretty terrible handling of that particular section of the circuit there. But you know what? Why not? I can do it. I can do it 9 times. You know, some of these courses aren't so bad for it, but some really are. One of the things that gets a little bit bothersome about a lot of street courses is that they're literally nothing but 90-degree... Well, they're not literally nothing, but they're primarily just a series of 90-degree corners. Like from this block to that block, to this block to that block. What is that doing back there? Somebody else knows. It's not me. I shouldn't even be able to see it, because obviously there's a big parking garage there that is being filled in as we go by. Well, there we go. The first and last time we will use that $80 worth of modification on that one car. I hope you enjoyed it. Because it's never coming back. Never going home, you are never going home. Alright, so, it's a half-an-hour quest to get 80 grand to get that particular racing car set up to do the racing style. And it's happened now, so that's a positive. Oh, there is no Chrysler in this one. There's only Plymouth. Only Zool. Okay. And I'm gonna guess there's no... Yeah, there's no special... Are there any special races other than the Corvette Challenge? There's a Ka tournament here, isn't there? And a Focus Challenge. Let's focus on the challenge of the focus challenge. Oh, there's a Dodge event. Is it for Vipers? Oh, that's right. There was the Neon Trophy, which we already did, and there is a Viper Festival of Speed. So that's interesting. And we'll look at Shelby. I'm almost positive there's no special Shelby race. There's not. It's okay, though. Tell you what, I know I haven't saved, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the video right here anyway. I know, courting disaster, but it's about time, and I am not at a point where I should stop and save. Yeah, so there you go, folks. When we come back next time, we will find some more. We'll just find some more races to get some more cars for, basically. That's what I'm doing. I'm just poking around, finding races for a specific type of car that I want to get, then getting the car and fancying it up and running out there. That's the name of the game. This is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye now.